We are in Iowa's oldest city, and this week it is buzzing and alive with political passion. Good evening and welcome to 13 News Weekend. I'm Kelsie Passolt. Police are investigating after a man is shot and killed near downtown Rockford. Flammable liquid is poured outside of a Rockford home and then lit on fire. Investigators are trying to find the person or people responsible. Tens of thousands of pounds of potatoes arrive in the Rockford area this morning, all to help those in need. Hills is in the name, and it should be, because we're talking about a hilly course. This seems a little bit more level, but hey, you know what? We got trees on every hole, so still a challenge. Now it's the hard part. We got to get out and we got to survey and see who's next to the first prize winner. We're going to have a lot of updates tonight at 10. Our cameras were not allowed inside here at the federal courthouse, where several witnesses took the stand, including a member of the Rockford Fire Department. In council chambers, it's been a mix of support for and criticism of geographic policing. It's pretty quiet right now for 6 o'clock. A lot of people probably just staying home, which is what officials are advising you to do. People are celebrating St. Patrick's tonight. Of course, some scattered showers, so I guess if you don't have an umbrella, maybe those big hats.
Yes, the big hats. Everyone always wears the big hats on St. Patrick's.
These guys right here, they're at the academy right now.
Freeport Police Chief Todd Barkalow keeps close tabs on his new officers. Quite literally, their names are written down just feet away from him in his office. Right now, 5 of them are going through a rigorous process before patrolling the streets on their own. Police academy and field training. For many officers, those are their first real tests, and some don't make it.
If they don't measure up, to our standards, then it's nothing personal. It's just it's time to part ways.
According to police chiefs across the region, training is a major falling off point for some hires, and it's not the only drop-off. After filing Freedom of Information requests, 13 News found dozens of brand new police officers are quitting or getting fired from local departments after just a few years or even months on the job. Our search dates back to 2010. Since then, in Belvedere, 3 out of the last 12 hires have left. In Rockford, it's 21 out of 84 and 17 out of 38 in Freeport. That's a 45% turnover rate, higher than the national average, 14%. It's something Chief Barkalow is keeping an eye on.
It's concerning, but I realize that we demand and expect a lot out of our officers.
So why are all these new officers leaving just as their careers get going? According to police chiefs, there are 3 major reasons. One deals with field training. Belvedere police say that's where some officers find out this job isn't right for them, or they don't have the necessary skills.
After giving them multiple opportunities to be successful within the program, if it's determined that they're not responding to training, then the decision to let them go has to be made.
The second reason hits Rockford hard. People successfully finish training, but then quickly go to other departments, usually closer to Chicago.
A lot of these younger officers, or the 2- and 3-year patrolmen, were taking jobs in the suburbs, and primarily because that's where they were from.
And the third reason, the root of the issue in Freeport, is a disconnection with the community.
Freeport wasn't a good fit for them. It's got a great blend of big city problems, but a small town, hometown attitude. It's not the right fit for some officers.
So what's being done to address this? Belvedere isn't concerned with its turnover, but Deputy Chief Shane Woody wants more candidates to do an internship before applying.
You get an idea of what's going to be expected.
Rockford started a push this summer to hire local.
We had a very aggressive recruiting campaign, and very happy that of those 15, a good majority, or at least 10 of them, are from either Rockford or the Collar counties.
And Freeport hopes a connection with Highland Community College students shrinks the turnover gap.
They'll come in, they'll ride, they'll get introduced a little bit. So as they're going through the Highland program, we'll give them preference points on hiring so that they actually come in there, they kind of know what the job is, they've experienced it.
For your Digging Deeper station, Kelsie Passolt, 13 News.
You guys, is there people in there?
The tornado has just passed. leaving destruction and confusion in Fairdale.
It was just complete devastation.
Some capture the horrifying moments of a town that's been flattened.
Is there people in this house? What about that house?
It was an apartment building.
That was an apartment?
Frantic 911 calls start pouring in.
911, where's your emergency?
Fairdale has been leveled by the tornado.
Okay.
We need help out here.
The night of April 9th, police officers like Chief Deputy Andy Sullivan arrive in Fairdale.
The next morning when daylight came, that's when you really saw the total devastation that happened in this town.
Law enforcement agencies, including the sheriff's office, put in more than 6,000 hours worth of work here over the next few weeks.
We were up here every day. I don't think the sheriff ever went home.
Their mission? To help in any way they could.
Whether it be a vehicle moved or a tree limb moved off of an apartment or a house.
I tried to post pictures as much as I could. People don't know what's happening in here.
Coordinate different things. I met with my regional coordinator for the state of Illinois. We spent the rest of the 3-4 weeks together.
The tornado destroyed nearly every home and building in Fairdale, creating images that these officials won't forget.
It's just breathtaking.
But just as vivid are memories of the good moments.
This park where we're standing in front of now, that night obviously it was destroyed. You couldn't really walk through here. There was so much debris around. The swing set was in disarray. But the folks came to the park and took care of that first. And before we were going home one night, there was a child swinging on the swing set. So you knew there was hope. So I think that was inspiring to everybody.
Those moments continue now that the area is rebuilding. Sheriff's police say through this tragedy, the community got closer.
I see hope. I mean, there's some nice houses. It's emotional. The house back here, you know, we've become friends with many of the residents here. So it's emotion.
While the new brick and mortar is what catches your eye first when passing through Fairdale now, behind the scenes are officers who say they're committed to stand with the town getting back on its feet.
They're no longer victims, they're survivors. When bad times happen, no matter what, we're going to be there to help them.
For your Digging Deeper station, Kelsie Passolt, 13 News.